I'm currently studying for the diploma in relationship counselling with marriage
Yes,
care.
I have been a counsellor for the last nearly 20 years.
Currently, I'm not counselling. I haven't been during the pandemic at all, but I have carried on as a supervisor and also as a trainer.
I'm currently a counsellor. I do relationship counselling with marriage care, and I'm also a facilitator for Preparing Together.
I was recruited into the training that was available then for individuals who had had no experience of counselling previously. And it was a part-time course. It lasted a couple of years, as I remember. Right, my wife and I encountered very significant difficulties within our own marriage, and we were fortunate to encounter a counsellor with a very great deal of skill who gave us a great deal of help. And my experience of being on the receiving end of counselling made me form the resolution that as and when I had the time to devote to the training, I would actually become a counsellor myself.
Yeah, no, I joined with no counselling experience at all. I was just asked to join by somebody who from my church who was a counsellor with marriage care, and she thought I might be suitable. I went sort of feeling quite ambivalent about it, really thinking, well, if they don't want me, that's fine. But actually, when I got there and spent the whole day with this in this selection process, I realised I would be absolutely gutted if I wasn't asked to join. So it was quite a turnaround. It was some sort of, I don't know what it was, that I suddenly thought, I do want to be part of this organisation.
Well, I've been with marriage care since 2010, with a few years break in between, and I used to work as a facilitator of Preparing Together course. And what really drew me to marriage care is the Catholic ethos and the value of the relationship and that care for the family unit and saving families and supporting couples in distress. That's what really drew me to marriage care.
I was a complete blank piece of paper upon which the ITC trainers were able to draw, and I think in a way it's one of the things that I found so valuable. I didn't come with any preconceived ideas, and it was what I picked up from that was life changing. I would suggest. In early September in 1991, it was the first day of term, and I'd just been promoted to be head teacher of the primary school that I was working in. And I heard from my secretary that a mother had come to see me before school started. So I invited her into my office, sat her down. And then she told me about this horrendous marital breakup that she and her husband had gone through during the summer holidays, and how this would have had an impact on their child who was in school. I realised there and then that a lifetime in the classroom, as I had done up until that point, gave me no preparation for how to deal with a situation like that, how to deal with an adult in grief, in a desperate situation. But I was very fortunate that very shortly after that, the bishop in our diocese, who then was very keen to develop marriage care, or as it was then, the Catholic Marriage Advisory Council. It was never my intention to counsel parents at school, but it became quite apparent that if parents were in a better state, that does have an impact on children. So me being able to understand parents and where they're coming from, and being able to converse with them in a way that is more beneficial to them, I knew that would have benefit to the children as well. So.
Well, I learned how to be a counsellor, but I learned a lot about myself, which I think has been useful as I've gone through life.
It covered, the counselling skills training, which in those days was Gerard Egan's The Skilled Helper. So we had to work our way through rather a large term of that manual. But it also covered moral development and emotional development. And as I say, because it was also brand new to me, I'd not done anything. I'd not done an A-level in psychology or anything like that. So it was all brand new to me. That it really made a mark, you know. And then other things like learning the games people play. That again was one of those, learning about defense mechanisms that people have, projection, generalization. I found it all very, very fascinating, and applying it to myself, it really turned me around. I think changed me in my outlook on life quite considerably.
Well, it was very interesting when we started the course back in September last year. We were in the middle of the pandemic, so unfortunately we couldn't see each other face to face. But the trainers were absolutely great by changing the course into the online format. So we had 4 weekends on Zoom, and we had fantastic support from the admin team. We had great support from the trainers, and actually the course did work.
Well, I had no experience of counselling before, so all of it was pretty revelatory, really. And it was a mixture of theoretical work and a pretty strong emphasis upon practical sessions involving, I think there were probably about a dozen people in training at the same time as me, my cohort. So we were involved in quite a lot of role play, I recall, over time.
Apart from learning the theory and how to apply it to working with couples, I would really highlight the relationship with other students. So we actually created friendships. We've never seen each other, but we created friendships. We've created such a great support group for each other. So I know people whom I could reach out to any time of the day, and they will always come back with answers, and I do the same for them. So I think the people and the friendship for life is the main highlight.
It's amazing how close you become to that group of people that you're training with. It was really, really, it was quite sort of eye-opening for me. I don't think I'd appreciated all that there was involved with counselling and learning how to be a counsellor, and it certainly changed me, I think, as a person. Yeah.
So I enjoyed being part of the organisation, inevitably working with couples in difficulty, and then the joy of working with young people preparing for marriage, which is an absolute delight. You know.
I like the idea of being able to give something back to the community, so learning skills and being able to help people when they're in troubled times in their relationships. I mean, I'm well aware you can't help everybody, but over the years, I think I have been able to help a good number of people, and it's very, very rewarding to be able to do that.
I really very much respond positively to the ethos of marriage care. I find the respect for persons, just the ease of relationships within marriage care.
I enjoy the sense of community that marriage care gives. Apart from my course, I've got this very, very strong sense of belonging to my centre, which is in Reading. I feel it's a small group of us, but we meet up regularly. We do share what's going on. We share our concerns, we share our joys together, and that's what really gives me a big kick. So anything to do with people, I love that part of volunteering, that you get more back than you give away.
Well, I think there's a lot of challenges. I mean, couples can come with the same problems. You know, they might have problems about money or children or arguing all the time or sex or whatever. There's all a raft of problems that people come with. But because every couple is different, the problems are different for each couple. So the challenges helping the couple to sort out what's going on for them in their relationship.
So it's, it's variety and routine. And in every single case, we're dealing with people who really do want help, who are, giving enormously of themselves in the process of counselling. And I never give up the feeling of being so enormously privileged to be part of people's lives.
I think the challenges come when people come where there's maybe only one of the couple really, really wants to save the relationship, and it's hard then to try and engage the other person who's maybe given up. That can be really challenging. And it's quite a challenge as well, I think, enabling people to feel safe enough with you as a counsellor to be vulnerable and to really say how they feel. It's quite a difficult thing to get people to that state, but that's where they need to be in order to address some of the problems that are going on in their relationship. So there's umpteen challenges, but I think those are probably the main ones, I think.
Right. The common challenge, like in any therapy, is the reluctant clients. The clients where you put all your heart into it and your time, and they just don't get it. And it involves a lot of patience and understanding and not judging. And what I find it challenging when it takes a bit of time and you're thinking, when is it going to happen? It does happen eventually.
They share these most amazingly intimate and difficult parts of their lives with us. It's truly impressive to me.
I think if you're interested in people and how people work, how their minds work, how their emotions work, it's the sort of work that can be so interesting, so challenging, but so rewarding as well.
I think just to be open to change. I recognise that some may well come with their own preconceived ideas, and maybe that might impact how they respond to the training. But yeah, just to be open to the possibility of change, to be with not no matter who you are, no matter what age you are, there's never an opportunity to develop for self-development. There's always the opportunity for self-development, and I think that this sort of training does provide that in spadefuls. In my opinion, the best training that I ever did in any aspect of my life. So
do not be afraid. Do not be scared. You know what? If you do your training well, and if you put your heart into it and a lot of time and research, things will always be great. And don't forget, every counsellor is different.
I think it would be to give enormous attention to listening. That is the absolutely overwhelmingly most important and most difficult thing that we do, and giving enormous attention to how to listen in such a way that individuals do not feel threatened, do not feel judged, do not feel compromised, feel able to share what it is that they find so difficult to share.
Change broadens our horizons, and it gives us the opportunity for growth. So yeah,
I think joining marriage care enriches your life. I think that's my sort of motto, really. It enriches your life. So if you want to have your life enriched, marriage care is the place for you.